We'll start in 3 minutes.
Pinapayak mo lagi si Darlene. Bakit ako ba may ano? Ay. Ang sakit ng ulo ko.
On the part of the Committee on Health, this meeting is now called to order.
On the part of the Committee on Science and Technology, this joint committee meeting is called to order.
Nice.
Yes. Comsec, may please introduce to us our distinguished guest and resource speakers.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have good afternoon to our distinguished guests and resource persons in attendance for today's meeting in this joint committee meeting of the Committee on Health and the Committee on Science and Technology are from the DOST, the Honorable Secretary Renato Solidum. Good afternoon, sir. Assistant Secretary Diana Ignacio and Director Annabel Briones. From the Department of Budget and Management, again, we have with us, and thank you for staying with us, ma'am, Ms. Nihal Abdul Rauf. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, ma'am. And Mr. Manuel S. Niverba Jr. Via Zoom. We also have in attendance, Your Honor, from the RITM Employees Association, Mr. Romeo Garcia, the president of the association.
All right.
That would be all, Your Honor.
Thank you, Comsec. Again, good afternoon to the distinguished members of the House of Representatives and our esteemed guests and resource persons. As in the case of the CDC bill, the Committee on Health is called to this meeting to deliberate on one of the most important bills in our nation's quest for health security. The committee shall deliberate on one of the most important legislation that would strengthen our country's capacity to address health emergencies. The bill establishing the Virology Institute of the Philippines, or VIP. This important piece of legislation was also approved on third reading by the House of Representatives and was subsequently transmitted to the Senate in the 18th Congress. As such, it was extensively studied and deliberated upon by the Committee on Health, then under the leadership of Representative Helen Tan, jointly with the Committee on Science, then under the leadership of Representative Aumentado. It is important to note that in the process of crafting the bill, the inputs of the Department of Science and Technology, including its attached agencies and such other concerned national agencies, were given much weight by the committee. Consultations were also conducted with other concerned national agencies, the latest of which was facilitated by the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office, led by Secretary Mendoza last October 24. On November 8, just last Tuesday, the chair was briefed by officials and technical staff of the Department of Science and Technology, who are also here present today, that would enhance and strengthen the VIP bill further. On the basis of the extensive consultations that were conducted, a consolidated substitute bill of all the bills that were filed this 19th Congress has been distributed to all members of the committee and authors thereof, led by our Speaker, Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. The consolidated substitute bill, my distinguished colleagues, took into consideration and gives way to the proposal of the executive agencies, especially by the Department of Science and Technology, which ultimately will be the very lead agency that shall implement the VIP. Therefore, the chair shall be calling the DOST representative later to enlighten the committee on the proposed legislation. Please note also that the consolidated VIP is almost identical to the 18th Congress, which the committee and the authors thereof continue to support. Again, the chair would like to stress the VIP bill is a priority bill that His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has manifested in his very first State of the Nation address. In response to the President's call, no less than our Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez is one of the principal sponsors of the VIP bill. This vital piece of legislation was also endorsed by the LEDAC as one of the priority common legislative agenda. Given the urgency of the VIP bill, this humble representation as chairperson of the committee entreats the support of the committee to approve the VIP bill with the end view of attaining health security for the Filipino nation, which is essential in sustaining national growth and development. Thank you. Congressman Acharon.
Honorable members of this committee, distinguished resource persons, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of our chair, Honorable Carlito Marquez, who I believe is now attending to an equally important concerns in his typhoon-stricken district in Aklan. Allow me to extend my gratitude for your presence here today as we deliberate on the proposal to establish the Philippine Virology Science and Technology Institute, a measure submitted by no less than 31 members of the House. The paramount objective of these bills is similar, which is to establish a body corporate that is capable and competent to prevent and simultaneously treat infectious diseases and viral infections in humans as well as in plants and in animals. The proposed establishment of the Virology Institute is a step in the right direction, a concrete and strategic program to ensure that we are prepared to respond efficiently and effectively to any public health emergency. Its creation is therefore our long-term solution to address the current pandemic in recurring problems caused by viruses in plants, animals, and human beings. With BIP under DOST, we are guaranteed that problems caused by these infectious agents are approached scientifically as we develop our own diagnostics and vaccines. I highly commend the authors of these measures for the timely filing of the virology bills on establishing the BIP to serve as the venue for developmental researches on viruses and vaccines. The filing of these bills resonates with the constitutional provision that science and technology are essential for national development and progress. We are grateful as well that His Excellency Ferdinand Marcos Jr. takes cognizance of this reality and that this measure is one among the administration's legislative priorities. So on the part of the Committee on Science and Technology, I welcome you to this joint meeting of the Committee on Health and the Committee on Science and Technology. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. We now start with the committee deliberation on the Virology Institute of the Philippines. The chair, before we proceed, the chair would like to acknowledge the authors of the following bills on the Virology Institute of the Philippines. House Bill number 10, authored by Representatives Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, Yeda Marie K. Romualdez, Ferdinand Alexander A. Marcos, and Jude Asidre. House Bill number 47 by Honorable Joey Sarte Salceda. House Bill 282 by Honorable Keith Micah, Attorney Mike Tan. House Bill number 308, authored by Honorable Luis Raymond L. Ray Villaferte Jr., Miguel Luis R. Villaferte, Tsuyoshi Anthony Oribata, and Nicolas Enciso VIII. House Bill 462, authored by Honorable Juan Carlos Arjo Ataide. House Bill 528 by Honorable Ron P. Salo. House Bill 602 by Representative Edgar Chato. House Bill 1179 by Honorable Brian Revilla. House Bill 1262 by Honorable Divina Grace Yu. House Bill 1491 by Honorable Dan Fernandez. House Bill 1710 by Honorable Anthony Rolando Goles Jr. House Bill 1721 by Honorable Ruth Mariano Hernandez. House Bill 1903 by Honorable Jazel Victoria Yu. Honorable House Bill 2413 by Honorable Angelo Marcos Barba. House Bill 2456 by Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. House Bill 2736 by Honorable Jonathan Clement M. Abalos II. House Bill 2777 by Honorable Alfred De Los Santos. House Bill 2904 by Honorable Florida Rida P. Robes. House Bill 2979 by Honorable Michael L. Romero. House Bill 3043 by Honorable Christopherson Coco M. Yap. House Bill 3118 by Honorable Reynante U. Arrogancia. House Bill 3147 by Honorable Ambrosio C. Cruz Jr. House Bill 3398 by Honorable Carlito S. Marquez. House Bill 3407 by Honorable Paulo Z. Duterte and Honorable Eric Goyap. House Bill 3503 by Honorable Edward Vera Perez Maceda. House Bill 3693 by Honorable Marlene Len B. Alonte. House Bill 3723 by Honorable Edvic Giap and Honorable Jeffrey Soriano. House Bill 4186 by Honorable Harris Christopher Ongchuan. House Bill 4270 by Honorable Gus Estan Bunting. House Bill 4450 by Honorable Ana York P. Bondok. House Bill 4862 by Honorable Marilyn L. Primicias Agabas. House Bill 5683 by Honorable Camille A. Villar. House Bill 5796 by Honorable Jervil R. Luistro. House Bill 5861 by Honorable Joseph Gilbert F. Violago. House Bill 5895 by Honorable Maria Vanessa C. Aumentado. House Bill 5908 by Honorable Jose Bong J. Teves Jr. and House Bill 5912 by yours truly. In the interest of time, the chair would like to request the distinguished authors to submit their sponsorship of the respective bills to the committee, which shall form part of the record of the committee meeting. Thank you. The chair would now call the representative from the DOST to present their comments on recommendations on the Virology Institute of the Philippines.
Mr. Chair, the Department of Science and Technology have extensively discussed the bills. And even we looked at the substitute bill, we have, as you mentioned, done a lot of work together with the authors, some of the authors and other departments. So we support the substitute bill as already discussed the other day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary Solidum. We now call on the members to for their comments and questions. First on the list is Congressman Ron Salo by Zoom. Congressman Ron Salo, you are now recognized.
Mr. Chair, I just respectfully wish to express my support to the immediate approval of the proposed measure, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Congressman Salo. Congresswoman Franz Castro, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Muli magandang hapon sa ating lahat at syempre kay Secretary Solidum at sa family ng DOST. So, unang tanong, Mr. Chair. So, what is the current current situation po doon sa pag-develop natin ng mga bakuna manned by the DOST?
Secretary Solidum.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Honorable Castro, we started really preparing for the establishment of the Virology and Vaccine Institute, or the VIP, since 2020. And we have done preparatory works and research since 2020, and this is led by the Industrial Technology and Development Institute. The director is here, Dr. Briones, and this has looked into the many activities that we're supposed to be doing once the VIP has been established. So if you want to go into what we do, But essentially, we have the diagnostics, therapeutics, and later on vaccine development. But our focus here is that we need to integrate the different viruses in our study. So we would not only look at human health, but also animals, especially since many of the pandemic now that we suffer comes from animals, plus the plants. And especially on food security, we also need to really focus on animals and plants, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, so before po you are developing vaccine for human being lang. Pero now we will include
We have na.
Wala pa po
Oh,
tayong
wala.
development ng vaccine.
Okay.
Yes,
So since time immemorial, wala pa po rin po tayo talaga.
Mm.
Okay. So this is the first time that we would have this VIP. Well, Mr. Chair, mahusay naman po yung sa bill natin, mahusay naman yung nakasaad yung mga mandate doon sa dito sa ating bill kasi nakikita ko yung direction towards self-reliance. However, yung sa section 15 nung PPP, medyo worried po ako dito dahil kung ito ay first time, so syempre ito ay dapat na dahil napakahalagang ahensya ito later on to or institution to be manned by the DOST. So mahalaga na talagang mabudgetan ito. At doon sa section 15 ng PPP, worried lang ako, Mr. Chair, na baka mauwi na naman ito sa privatization. Kaya tingin natin dito doon sa section 15, kung titignan natin, so ito pong magiging funding ng VIP in case, 'di ba? Ito po ay mapopondohan through fully by the government. Tama po ba? So, ano po yung parameters doon sa tinatawag nating public-private partnership? Dito sa section 15.
Secretary Solidum.
Just like many other technologies that DOST has developed together with the higher education institutions, and because of the Technology Commercialization Act, we have been actually transferring licensing the technologies that have been produced to the private sector, and that is according to law. And so if we look at what is happening all over the world, even higher education institutions can actually either commercialize their technologies and operate it by themselves and establish spin-off companies, or other big industries or startups can actually avail of the technologies that government would produce, and then they actually commercialize it, but with royalties and other things to be given to the government.
There. So, meron din po halimbawa tayo na technology transfer. For example, in WHO or wherever sources that we will have. So yung PPP. So nawo-worry lang po ako na syempre Mr. Chair baka ma-commercialize later on etong mga ma-develop na mga na mga vaccine just in case. So ano po yung kaya kung sinasabi ko tinatanong ko po yung parameters ng ating PPP. So ma-define ba yan dito o sa IRR na siya?
Sa IRR na po. Typically po sa ibang mga technologies that we have developed, meron kaming ginagawang fairness opinion board, na talagang independent body outside of DOST that would look into who should be the recipient of this and is it fair for government as well. So ito po ay gagawin natin sa IRR, but definitely the VIP is the research unit as to how we will be continuing this into commercialization, development of vaccine. That is why we needed the industry that is also available within our society.
Ibig sabihin po niyan, sana hindi later ano lang to no, forward looking Mr. Chair, sana hindi ito mauwi sa privatization din. Ano ba sa tingin natin doon sa probability na yun?
The VIP will not be privatized as envisioned. This will still be continuing because there will be from time to time diseases that will arise from plants, from animals, and of course, to humans. And so this will be the research arm of government. But as to the commercialization of the technologies that will be developed, talaga pong patungo tayo dyan, as mentioned in Republic Act 10055 or the Technology Transfer Act. Because we might not be able to sustain it within government to produce everything because we have industry partners naman po.
Next, Mr. Chair, as regards to Section 18 on the protection of BIP developed intellectual property, kasi nakalagay dito, the governing board of the BIP shall ensure that all technologies developed exclusively by the BIP will with full funding from the Filipino taxpayers shall be protected by IP laws in accordance with RA 10055 or the Technology Transfer 2009 and other applicable laws. Any patent or property right awarded or granted to VIP shall be held by and by the name of the Philippine government. So okay po yun, yung part na yun. In the case of partnerships, where the BIP is collaborating research partner, the governing board shall ensure that the technologies co-developed by the BIP shall be co-attributed to the Philippine government with the corresponding intellectual. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng co-attributed? So as compared dun sa binanggit natin dun sa first few lines, okay po yun. Pero ano po bang ibig sabihin natin ng co-attributed dito? So hindi na totaling in the name or in the property ng Philippine government yung madedevelop natin kung meron tayong PPPs.
May partnership po. So both government and the partner po ang magiging attribution ng technology developed.
Okay.
This is a standard practice naman po na ginagawa.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman
intervention lang.
Salceda.
In the last Congress, I was the one who injected this. And you might want to change it from co-attributed to co-owned. So it will be clear.
Baka yes, tama, Mr. Chair, parang mas may ownership talaga kung
May I introduce
Ganun.
that as an amendment to the, how do you call this? Substitute bill.
Yes, thank you very much, Congressman Salceda. We'll include that as an amendment.
Yes, thank you, Congressman Salceda, Alam mo na, itatanong ko siguro sa plenary. Pero ako ay I support. We support this this bill. So yun lang po yung problema natin doon sa PPP, and at the same time kasi gusto natin talaga na ano man yung madedevelop dito ay talagang i-own natin as a sovereign country, di po ba? So yun lang naman po. Yun lang, Mr. Chair, yung aking mga tanong. So in conclusion po, maganda naman po. May ilang mga provisions lang na nagbibigay ng entry doon sa tinatawag nating PPP. Kasi kahit nasabihin natin ngayon na hindi kailanman na ito ay mapa-privatize. Pero who would know, di ba? Who will know? Di naman tayo habang buhay na nandito at ma-insure natin yan. Kung ibang government na yung dumating, yung administration, baka mangyari yon. Look at the LRT ngayon, di ba? Public yon. Pero after some time, ngayon, parang sinasabi, privatize na lang para mas maganda yung serbisyo. So I hope hindi ito ma-privatize in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Castro. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Maria Vanessa Aumentado, Honorable Edward Vera Perez Maceda. Next on the list is Congressman Rida Robes by Zoom. Congresswoman Robes, you are now recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Una sa lahat po, I'd like to thank you for acknowledging my bill also, though it is not included in the agenda today. Maraming salamat po. Secretary, I just wanted to make an assurance, bigyan lang po kami ng assurance na once na ready na po itong bill na ito o batas na ito ay sana po mabigyan po kami ng roadmap at the same time po yung policy framework na kinakailangan natin dito dahil lahat po kami na nagko-author dito ay talagang interesado na maitaguyod po ang batas na ito. Yun lamang po, Mr. Chair, at maraming salamat po for again acknowledging my House Bill number 2904. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congresswoman Robes.
I don't know. All out ako. Baka yung mga DBM ang kailangan tanongin.
Sino yan? Rivera? Rivera. Yes, Dr. Rivera?
Yeah.
You're now
Good
recognized.
afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon po sa lahat. I am representing the National Academy of Science and Technology. This is an attached unit of the DOST. So we really thank, of course, the initiative of the congressmen who sponsored the bills, and of course, under the auspices of the Department of Science and Technology. We only had very minor questions to ask. Because in section 1 and also in section 3B of the substitute bill, clearly stated there that the VIP will serve as the vaccine institute, of course, of the country, and will be, of course, mandated to produce vaccines against other pathogens on top of the viruses. So we would like to know if this is really the case, because
Can you speak louder? We can.
that's section 1 and section 3B po. 3B. The objectives. Well, it mentioned there that since it's a vaccine institute, it will produce vaccine against other pathogens din po. So we would like to ask if that is really the case, or if this is really the goal of the VIP.
Ito na ba yung ano eh? It's not here? Letter D, there's not here.
Letter B po, boy. 3B.
Dr. Biones.
The objectives.
Actually, during the consultative meeting with other departments, they raised this a comment to suggest the research on vaccines would include all types of microorganisms. That's why we believe that the observations and suggestions will be covered by adding the phrase in section B, 3B, sorry, to add the phrase on viruses and other pathogens in the provision.
So this is noted po, pero the NAST actually noticed this. That if this is the case, I think the other sections also should include other pathogens, not only on viruses.
Yes, duly noted po.
Sorry, you're questioning the word pathogens?
Other pathogens po. 3B.
Bakit?
Other pathogens? Why with other pathogens? Why not purely virus? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not actually po. We're clarifying if the Vaccine Institute will also produce vaccine against other microorganisms, because it's mainly on viruses, but other pathogens are mentioned in that objective.
Yes. I think
Because it
during
could be vaccine against bacteria po, against protozoa, but so yun po yung tanong.
Secretary
Mr. Chair,
Solidum.
thank you for recognizing me. Essentially, Dr. Wendell Rivera would just say that for consistency, to add other pathogens in appropriate sections of the substitute bill as necessary. Yeah, form lang po.
Yes, po.
Okay, clear. Thank you, Dr. Rivera. At this point, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of our special guest, resource speakers from Department of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Christina Gracia Rola Makernan, Ms. Gladys C. Brohan, Assistant Secretary Gina Hamoralin, and Mr. Romard Kevin Ramoso. Assistant Secretary Hamoralin will read a statement. ASEC Hamoralin, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would, on behalf of the DFA, we would like to express our support for the passage of the proposed establishment of a Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines. This will enhance the government's response to pandemics and the spread of infectious diseases, as well as contribute to the creation of scientific knowledge to address public health issues. The DFA shall endeavor to look for opportunities for partnership and collaboration with foreign stakeholders to help develop the institute as part of the DFA science diplomacy initiatives. We are closely working with the Department of Science and Technology in establishing dynamic bilateral international platforms to promote, to utilize existing S&T opportunities abroad. In fact, we have proposed a whole of government approach involving other also key agencies through the creation of our Joint Science and Technology Educational Exchange Committee with key bilateral partners. Under this platform, we will proactively and collectively look for opportunities to conduct joint research, tap opportunities for capacity building and collaborative projects to assist this proposed institute. We also commend the bill for providing safeguards on the protection of intellectual property. Through this bill, we hope to better prepare in dealing with future outbreaks to protect our citizens. Your Honor, I have just one comment on Section 13 on the topic of international cooperation. In the last sentence, it says, the DFA shall provide legal and other forms of assistance to the BIP. We would like to further qualify this by, instead of this sentence, we would like to respectfully suggest this language. The DFA shall provide the VIP advice and assistance on drafting and negotiations of international legal instruments. That is, Your Honor, our suggested language for the last sentence under Section 13 of the Consolidated Bill.
Mr. Chair, motion to adopt.
Thank you, Congressman Salceda. Thank you,
Seconded.
ASEC Hamoralin. We will adopt the suggestion from the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, sir.
May we hear a comment from the DBM?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to the honorable members of the committee, especially to Kong Salceda, who is waving at me right now. Perhaps I should wave back. And to all present, the DBM in fact supports the passage of the bill into law, considering that this is also part of the common legislative agenda or the priority legislative agenda of His Excellency. We just want to pose two comments, and one is for the bill or the DOST to properly delineate the functions of the proposed VIP vis-a-vis the National Epidemiology Center, National Center for Disease and Control Prevention Bureau of the DOH, and the Department of Virology of the DOH, Research Institute of Tropical Medicine, which I understand are also subject to discussed earlier during the deliberation on the proposed CDC. So, and second, we would like to manifest our comment on Section 8 regarding the organizational structure, Mr. Chair. we respectfully suggest to delete the divisions named in the bill. This is to allow the DOST to have flexibility in the future should the bill prosper. Instead, we suggest to just mention that the proposed VIP can prepare the organizational and organizational structure that they prefer, submit it to the DOST for recommendation, and then to the DBM for review and approval. That would be all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you,
Nihal, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. Nihal Abdul Rauf.
Ma'am Nihal.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Secretary Solidum.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. On the recommendation for Section 8, we fully support that so that it will be more flexible for all of us. And for the earlier comment on the structure, we will actually be making sure that this will be for research and as designed to develop diagnostic therapeutics and vaccine. And as you can see, we are not deviating from the current operations of DOST po naman, where we actually collaborate with all the necessary government and higher education institutions so that the appropriate research gaps are addressed by the system. Thank you, po.
Thank you, Secretary Solidum. Yes, Congressman Miguel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question is for our good secretary. Last Tuesday, while we have our conference regarding on this, there was a bit of discussion as to the direction. The question then was that, do we see in the near future a manufacturing our own vaccine, or we'll just confine ourselves to just research? Because Dr. Montoya was insisting that we should just be silent on this part. So now with us here, the secretary himself, the vision of this bill, the intent of this bill is really to, at the end, to produce our own Philippine-made vaccine, or just content with just still research and development?
Well, essentially, the main role of DOST and its task agencies is to develop the research, and once the technology is available, can be transferred. So once there is a technology related to vaccine, then it can be actually licensed to a private organization. And if it's really needed at some point, although we are not capable yet, the industry would actually have capability of manufacturing. But if it's really needed during pandemic, then we have to venture on it. But right now, the target is to really produce the technology and have it transferred together with the governing board's, of course, approval to make sure that the government maintains the ownership, or at least co-ownership of the technology.
Thank you so much. It's a bit clear that now, because there were so many discussions about procurement, purchasing, and the time it would spend for us to develop one. It's just us in this time we're in. I think it's about time for us to really look forward into developing our own. It came from South Korea just recently. They're so proud enough that they have their own Korean-made vaccine that has to be rolled out. So I've heard also from the words of our resource person the other day that we have to wait for the proper time. So medyo naano ako doon dahil baka yung proper time natin, late na naman ulit tayo. So the ball on the direction of creating a vaccine really should start the soonest possible time. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair and Sir Secretary.
Thank you, Congressman Miguel. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Maria Angela Garcia, Honorable Edgar Chato. May we hear comment from NEDA? Via Zoom? Anyone from NEDA?
Afternoon, Mr. Chair. We fully support the,
Please identify yourself, please.
sorry, my name is OIC Assistant Director Edgardo Aranjuez from NEDA Social Development Staff.
Thank
We
you.
just would like to manifest our support for the bill, and we fully support the substitute bill, as this is already a product of a series of consultations shepherded by the PLLO, and we defer to the expertise of Secretary Solidum. And that's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aranjuez.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Salceda.
averse ka ba to manufacture? So, given the specificity, the urgency, the expediency, once you're able to discover, would you still want to? Would you like an authority just like the DPL in the US, which allowed WARP and which allowed the vaccines that we are now all using for COVID through government essentially funding the manufacturing?
Secretary Solidum.
Yeah, if there is no private sector that can actually adapt and manufacture the
Hindi, kasi
technology,
ikaw naka-discover eh.
then if the government would want to pursue it, but definitely if we need to make the manufacturing much faster, it would be easier if we have a ready partner.
You
But-
will be, I'm a free marketer, but my bill actually initially included that the VIP should be allowed to manufacture.
Well, that's the structure that
I don't know, I don't know my bill now.
the structure that the structure that currently the bill is proposing will not allow for all of those. That's why private sector partnership dealing with the
Oh,
industry
akala
will be
ko,
much faster.
Kinalaban ka lang ni Montoya, kaya pumatol ka.
Hindi naman, hindi naman.
Eh di wag mong bigyan ng GIA. Simple-simple lang yun, di ba? Wag mong bigyan ng grants in aid, di patay ang PCHRD.
Hindi naman po. Ang sinabi naman, I was just clarifying because I wasn't here. If there is no private sector, if there was no private sector that can really partner, then the government must.
The only exemption, aside from the armed forces of the Philippines, that I think should have the DPL, which is really a law in the US which allows government manufacturing.
Yes, yes.
Or making private sector manufacture for the government under the auspices of government.
Yes.
I don't know how, where, probably in the BICAM or probably in the floor, so we don't disturb the substitute bill anymore. I hope that we should all realize that the national capacity of this country, we haven't realized the full potential of this country. And that's because we always say, "Oy, wag kayong manufacture, hanggang dyan lang kayo." What if it's, hindi lang naman to virus against people, plants. It's also about positive viruses. And what if we discover a positive virus that's good for, for new products, So I don't know whether we should exempt the government from, from taking advantage of this. So I think at the appropriate time, Mr. Chair, not here, at the floor, I will certainly propound an individual amendment that will essentially allow the BBL na pati, BVI, to essentially manufacture. I think, of course, subject to certain limitations. Mabuti nagsalita ako abang wala na yung NEDA. Sigurado ko kontra yun eh.
Thank you, Congressman Salceda.
Another point, Mr. Chair,
Congressman Miguel.
if I may add to the question as we go into manufacturing. In fact, if we're going to review the functions, section 7, hours and duties, even up to the last provision, letter letter L. The words here that we have to assume functions like clinical trials. To me, it's already going to manufacturing. So it's construed already. With this bill, we are for go into manufacturing direction also. it's clear to me with this. But if our good congressman would add explicitly in this bill, the word manufacturing, it would be better. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Miguel.
Mr. Chair, para matapos na tayo.
Ah,
So okay ka lang ng use of income ha, BBM?
Um, use of income
Alam mo kasi may problema ako sa inyo eh. Pag winawan pan concept nyo, hindi nyo na nire-release. Example, yung train funds for sugar industry. Tingnan mo, nagkalintik-lintik. Ni minsan yung nire-release. Oh, paminsan-minsan, kung ganito ka-primordial to national survival, we shouldn't allow the use of income. Especially to a very specialized. Kasi sino naman pati kikitain ng mga to eh. So ibig sabihin, ano na, quiet ka na lang.
not necessarily, Your Honor, but
Not
yeah,
necessarily.
I cannot seem to find the provision here. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
No, we are restoring. I'm sorry. You are.
Yeah.
May I, Your Honor, restore the use of income to the VIPs?
Alin ba yun?
Subject, over and above the objection of the DBM.
However, just to put it on record, we
Okay.
have reservations on the use of income, Mr. Chair.
I'm on
as-
your side always, except here.
Oh,
I want these guys to succeed.
any second.
Well, we understand your wisdom, Kong Salceda, but just to put it on record, we uphold that all income should be reverted to the National Treasury to form part of the general fund.
And never release again.
We can discuss that if there are concerns.
Paki-second nga ng motion.
There's a motion of Congressman Salceda to
Restore.
restore the use of income. The VIP shall be authorized to use all the income generated from its operations as well as donations, bequests, grants for the upgrading of its physical and human resources and for the augmentation of its budget. Do I hear a second?
Second.
So hearing no objection, the motion of Congressman Salceda is approved. Congressman Miguel? Naka-red.
Ay, sorry, no.
Sorry. Any other comments from the members? Congresswoman Castro.
Siguro na nadagdag ko lang yung naisip ko lang yung tungkol doon sa staffing pattern dito sa agency. So initially po ba meron na pa po tayong staffing pattern para dito sa VIP. So meron na po ba kang copy ang committee? So can it be provided, Mr. Chair, with the staffing pattern dito sa sa VIP?
The same.
Mr. Chair?
Secretary Solidum.
Yes, we have. Do you want it provided to, so we submitted it to the APRO during the last Congress, but it's around 197.
Can
so
you
far.
please submit
Yes,
to
sir.
the
We will
committee
submit po.
the staffing pattern?
Yes po.
Okay, including yung mga functions po tsaka yung okay, so yun po. So wala po bang role ang RITM dito sa VIP?
They will be part of the board po, so that to make sure that the overall efforts of the VIP will also be in coordination with many other organizations that will be partner with us. Kasama po ang DA as we also look at animals and plants. Thank you po.
Okay, kasama okay. So yung RITM kasama siya sa board. So, yung mga empleyado ng RITM pwede rin ma-absorb dito? Hindi naman, hindi. Okay.
Not necessarily
Not
po.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay. Sa CDC siya. O kasi kanina Mr. Chair, inaano natin yung sana yung ano no, yung mga empleyado dun sa RITM, dun sa CDC. So yun. Sige, thank you Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Castro. From the Bureau of Animal Industry, please identify yourself.
Good afternoon po. I'm Dr. De La Peña, representing the Bureau of Animal Industry. I am the Veterinary Laboratory Division Chief, and the Bureau of Animal Industry supports the passing of the substitute bill stipulating the Virology Institute of the Philippines Act. To date, the country is currently addressing the prevention and control of economically relevant transboundary animal diseases, while simultaneously maintaining its vigilance against emerging and re-emerging viral diseases worldwide. An example po nito, we are facing problems on avian influenza outbreak and African swine fever. And the BIP Act will strengthen and apprise the country's capacity and capability in acting adeptly and judiciously in relation to these animal viral diseases. Yun lang po. We are full support of the immediate passage of the VIP Act. Thank you po.
Thank you very much for the full support. Congressman Miguel.
Mr. Chair, I just would like to be clarified on Section 9 as to the qualifications of the VIP director and deputy directors. The first one is bachelor's degree in the field of microbiology or any other fields, related fields. To me, I think it's the other way around. I think we should put here and other related specialization, because it's much more specific when it's related specialization, microbiology, zoology, immunology, and at least we can be assured that the VIP director is on a related expertise. While on the second item, postgraduate degree in having a postgraduate degree in virology or any other related fields. That's my suggested amendments. Baliktarin lang po yung nasa taas. Ibababa yung other related fields. Yung sa taas na maitataas yung specialization kasi microbiology and the rest is a specialization. So I think it's much more appropriate to reward the number one item under Section 9.
Second.
Yes, thank you very much. We will
Thank you.
adopt your comment. Meron pa? Wala na? Pwede na?
Hindi ako Anong problema mo pa?
Yes,
Thank you, Congressman Miguel. May I be clarified with in the director? This might be format lang, but the phrase should have at least 3 years experience in the field of diagnostic virology. Maybe can we just say virology so it's not very limiting? Would it be possible to take out the diagnostic?
Muna. No problem. You don't see any problem.
In line po with the suggestion. by
Yes,
Congressman.
Congressman Miguel.
Totoo po yan, mahirap po maghanap ng diagnostic virology lang. Pag virology kasama na rin dyan, therapeutic and all eh. So very restrictive to, baka wala tayong makitang director. Sa motion, Mr. Chair, may I, Hindi naman po. Konting nag-aral lang ng pagka-medisina.
Tayo in-house expert eh. Next time, wag mo sa akin bibigay yung mga bill na ganyan.
We'd all like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Salvador Prieto, Honorable Dante Garcia, and Honorable Ruth Mariano Hernandez.
So with all the
Congressman Miguel?
thorough discussion, I move that we're going to approve to pass this substitute bill. The bill establishing the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines and appropriating funds therefore. So I move.
Second the motion.
Seconded.
There's a motion and duly seconded that the substitute bill on the act establishing the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines and appropriating funds therefore be approved. Hearing no objection, the motion is approved.
Congratulations, Chair.
Congratulations, Chair.
Thank
you,
Chair.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Any motion for your favorite motion?
Move to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
To adjourn.
Seconded for the adjournment.
Hoy, photo-ops daw.
Sama niyo naman kami sa Zoom.
Baka pwedeng ipakita yung mga present sa Zoom.
Yes, yung mga nasa Zoom, Mr. Chair.
Committee on Science and Technology,
How are you?
this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you for a lot of. For not standing up.
Thank you.
Uy, dito yung dalawang chairman.
Thank you. Miguel, yung
Tanggalin.
O hindi ko naman yung kinantsawan. Doktor pala ito eh.
Doctor.
Uy, kasama sila oh.
Ay, thank you for including us in the Zoom. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, Chair.
Ay, kasama.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations.
Thank you. I texted you, Chair.
Chair. Hello, everyone. Hi,
Oy, NAST, yung mga nanay, yung mga tatay ko. Oo eh. Salamat sa Diyos. Maggulo kami sa Baalbay. So maganito, umupo yung dalawang chair eh.
Hindi na, okay na yun. Para pantay.
Kasi chair nga kayo eh.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.